The income machine. Let's check in on how our income machine is doing this month. We've added a few tickers, we've taken away some other tickers, and we have been collecting premium. Lately, the big ones have been MSTX, which is the 2X fund on MSTR, and ConL, which is a 2X fund on Coinbase. We also have added SMR to some pretty nice effect. I have been slowly looking at positions for Kava. ARM, I just did the one on. I haven't really gotten back to it again. And MSTR is hanging out over here since I have stopped trading that ticker specifically because it got a little too expensive for me. And MSTX is now within my price range versus the underlying, which is MSTR. But we'll talk about both here. So where are we at in this thing? So for anyone, just a recap here, we've been doing this since July 30th on NVIDIA and MicroStrategy. Since then, we have expanded to some other tickers, as you can see, that are listed here. Some of them as recently as this month have been added. Some just, for the last 2 weeks, like SMR. I've only been doing this for about 2 weeks, and we're going to look at that premium now. So we've been doing this since July. That's August, September, October, and most of November. So we're looking at almost 4 months now, and we have collected about $12,439. Now we've been using approximately $30-ish thousand to run this strategy. So that we are looking at about a 40% return so far on our investment. And a big factor in that is MSTX here. You can see these last few trades were all for very large numbers, and you can see that some of them were a lot more negative than what I collected. We're going to talk about that as well. Things got a bit dicey with a 30% drop here on Friday. That kind of continued a little bit into today, well, yesterday as well, and we're going to talk about how I've gotten out of that, and at least hopefully this will hold, and how I plan to continue forward with that, getting myself out of this hole. But first of all, let's take a look at that hole. This is it right here. So with all of this, right, I'm calling this mistakes. Mistakes were made. I got out right at the top of the market on Friday, and then it fell. And it fell some more, and I said, okay, maybe this is an area where it might start turning around, and in fact, it fell twice as far from there. So I got it in about negative 16% and went to about a negative 31, 32% that day, so that was pretty rough. But currently, even with those mistakes, I am still currently up $4,935. That's pretty exciting. Now, if I get rid of this most recent roll, if I had just stopped right there, I'd be down $1,771, which would wipe out the pretty significant amount of this gain. If you take this 6,707 minus that from here, that's only like $100 and some odd dollars, because I lost some money in this. I overmanaged this a little bit here as that fall came through, and that would end up being negative in the negative. So at this point, what am I gonna do? So one, I'm going to hold on to this one for dear life, I think. Okay, I'm only going to roll this one if I'm at least $2,000 in the green on it. Okay, that's number one. That's rule number one. Rule number two on this is I could allow this to expire and execute on me and make me buy 100 shares at $130 as low as, let's get the calculator out. So 130 is my strike, right? I collected $6,700, which is going to be $67.07. Okay, 67.7, right? Basically per share. And that is $62.93, meaning that as long as the price of MSTX is above $62.93, I'm technically not actually losing any money yet. And once I am assigned those shares, I could sell covered calls on it and make up the remainder of this $6,293, which is what it would be if you times it by 100 shares. The value of it, I could sell covered calls to recover that, and then basically have a free roll on 100 shares of MicroStrategy. So that's kind of what I'm looking at doing forward. Now, unless the premium gets really, really exciting at lower strikes for MSTX, I think I'm going to hold this 130 strike. and I'm hold it to execution and then start selling covered calls on it. Right? And then collect my remaining $6,000 through that way, while I ride MSTX back to the highs, because I don't think it's done with the highs yet. Right. The other thing that I did recently that was a bit of an over management possibly was today I sold an NVIDIA put at a loss at about a little over a $200 loss. I took that hit today. And the reason I took that hit today was because this. If we look at the chart here, this is the daily chart for NVIDIA. We have a really aggressive downturn right here. Okay. We went below the 21-day moving average, closed way under it. Even if we come back up to the 21-day moving average, I don't think I'm still in this thing yet until we touch the 200, which is down at 134. So I want to see NVIDIA come down to the 200-day moving average and bounce, or if it cuts through it, I want to see it come down to the bottom ATR band, which is currently at 129, which is still a significant ways down from where it currently is. And momentum, if you look at momentum, the average force is falling, the stochastic ribbons are falling. These are all pointing towards a potential sell-off here. The other thing that got me a little bit concerned about it is this right here. You see how this came right there? And right over here, we got one top, two tops. That's a double top. We got a double top that came in and we just closed beneath the neckline on that double top. So that is bad. That's bad. So what are we looking at here potentially? Potentially, we're looking at this coming down to this low back here, maybe at even 128, or if that doesn't hold, all the way down to support at the bottom here, which is down at 124. Around those areas, I would be looking to recommit. Now, if I see a bounce off the 200-day moving average, I will recommit to NVIDIA, and that minus $200 will be nothing but a speed bump. So that's why I'm looking at that there. On MicroStrategy, this was that big candle. Okay, it was minus 16% on MSTR, but MSTX, it was much, much bigger because it's a 2X fund. So that was actually minus 31%. Today was also minus 12%. So I recovered here, came back down here, and it came back to slightly above the candle wick there, which actually gives me a little bit of hope that we might see a bounce here. Now, on the daily, I think we're probably going to hit the 21. The 21 is currently at $92.95, significantly higher than that $62 level that I mentioned earlier. So I'm really not feeling the heat yet on this thing. I'm really not concerned about it. I will continue to hold it unless I see significantly improved premiums at lower dollar values, or if I'm getting close to expiration, it's way lower than $100, and I could sell out to February and get the premium that I would be losing from rolling at a loss. So that's kind of where I'm at right now with that. I'm not too concerned about it. I'm going to let it ride for now. The other one is SMR. SMR, I've actually made $361 on that in under 2 weeks here, so I'm pretty excited about that. This has been going very well. I've been making like 50, 100, 200 bucks here and there on this thing so far, and that's been going very well. As you can see, ConL is also contributing $837 to this, and I've been doing this one also for about 3 weeks, with ConL, and I've pulled in $837 on that, and I am expecting to pull in more on that. In fact, I'm a little bit interested on if I can close this at a 50% or 60% profit by the end of the week. The one I currently have open for $695, I might go right up to the money on it on a shorter contract in order to try and get executed on it, because I would like to hold ConL. I think ConL is due for a larger move up. Let's take a look at that real quick. ConL. Yeah, I'm not too concerned about it. I'm looking at it, came down to the 21 and it kind of bounced around the 21 area. This could easily go back up to 71. It gets above 71. We could run back for the highs around 88. Now, if I am buying these shares, let's say I would get them at the 21-day moving average at 50 bucks. Like, let's say I get that put the shares at $50 right here, and I run that up to 87. So what would be the improvement? Sorry, be $37 or $3,700 that I would be earning from just holding the shares, plus the premium, which on this one was at 690 something. It was 695. So 695 on 50 bucks. We're talking about 1.3%. No, not 1.3, 13.9%. So we could be getting 13% on $87. That's not too bad. let's see, 87 times by 0.13, and I think it was like 13, but we'll just do 13%, just to even keep it limited there. That'd be a $1,131 premium at that level there, if I could get that 13% near the money kind of thing. I mean, it's $10 away from the money, and I've got that kind of premium, so that's pretty exciting. So even at $70, I could be getting that $1,000 of premium on the call side of things. We also have a falling wedge here, which I'm very excited about it moving up on ConL, which is attached to Coinbase. Let's see, SMR. Let me do this one last here. We'll take a look at SMR and what I'm looking at for the levels here. So SMR, it came down. I sold it at the end of the day because I saw a bounce on the 5. I'm expecting maybe it to come up to 28, 29, maybe 21, 920 here, by the end of the week here, and I will close that out for probably a 40 to 50% profit. Now, if it fails there and falls, it's going to fall all the way to the 21, which is at $23.90, which would put me $300 in the hole pretty quick. But I'm not too concerned about that quite yet. You can see some of this is falling down here, but average force is still getting up while that fast stochastic is falling down. But on the hourly, the fast stochastic is already at the bottom, meaning this is looking for a bear flag, honestly, a bear flag, which would take it up to around the 29-ish level before starting to curl back over. And that's all I'm looking for. I'm just looking for this fast stochastic ribbon to crawl up and then fail somewhere around the $29, $30 level, which, much like it's done on the way up here, right? Look at this. This is the same pattern it's been doing, like these little waves, and it's doing one of those little, it's on the upswing of one of those little waves right now. So I'm going to see for that on SMR, sell at 40, 50% profit, take my, $70 or so, and, put that in the bank. So that is the Income Machine update. Currently, we have collected $12,439 in premium across 6 different tickers here in the course of 4 months. That's pretty exciting. We're doing very well here. And if you'd like to know more about this, we're gonna keep talking about this. We'll keep doing the Income Machine, which, as you know, is selling puts on these tickers until they get executed, assuming if they do get executed, and then from there rolling to covered calls in order to continue that wheel rolling. So anyways, that's all I've got for you today. Please like, comment, subscribe, share this video. Check out the Trade Cave store, link in the description, as well as the channel bio. Don't sleep on the sticker shop. That link is also in the description and channel bio, and have a profitable day.